Hello, this is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta. Do we have a net control on frequency for our slow scan TV net? Okay, nothing heard. This is KP4MD. I'll go ahead and start the net then. This is KP4MD, Citrus Heights, California. And you're listening to the River City Arcs slow scan television net here in Sacramento. We open this net at 9 p.m. Pacific time every Wednesday on this frequency of 441.30 megahertz FM repeater, and also on our YouTube channel. The link to our YouTube channel is on our website, N6NA.org. This net is conducted for practice in image transition modes. And we're going to call now for any stations who wish to check in. Anyone wishes to check into the net, please come now with your call sign.
November 6, Papa Golf, Quebec.
Kilo Lima 7, Hotel Quebec, Romeo.
Okay, I just got two check-ins. I got November 6 Papa Golf, Quebec, and I've got KL7 HQR. And there was another transmission without any modulation. I wonder if that was somebody else trying to check in. We'll stand by, see if there are any other check-ins.
November Romeo 6 Hotel, Anderson Folsom.
Okay, yeah, we have November Romeo 6 Hotel, Anders. And again, there was another transmission with no modulation. Maybe you can see what's going on. You have your modulation turned off, or microphone not plugged in correctly. Try one more time.
Alpha India 6 Delta Golf.
There you go. It's Alpha India 6 Delta Golf. It's Joel. Very good. Any other check-ins? Okay, I don't hear anyone else, and I don't see anyone logged into the YouTube chat right now. So we'll go ahead and start. Go to the top of the list. And Bob and N6PGQ, if you have a picture ready, please proceed to send it. Over.
Okay, this should be PD 120, 6PGQ.
Okay, it's KP4MD. That picture came through very well. Got a couple dozen pixel pops in the darker part of the picture here in the foreground. And Bob, I don't think I've ever seen the inside of a grandfather clock before you started sending these pictures. And I'm going to guess this is another view of the same mechanism that you showed us last time. That some of us thought was a music box because it's got those little pegs on that cylinder that rotate. So that's absolutely amazing. The stuff, either I guess some um, large clocks like Big Ben have something similar to that to play their chimes. Anyhow, uh, that's what I'm guessing. I don't think it's a music box. So back to let's go down the list here. Next one. What do you think about this, Neil? KL7HQR. Go ahead.
KL7HQR. Yeah, I would have guessed music box again, but I remember that Bob sent the thing about the clock. It must be the angle of the picture and the close up, because it looks so much bigger than I would assume it would be the inside. And the quality came in very, very, very good. Mainly because I have wires going all over the place here. I'm trying to rewire the shack, and I didn't think I was going to be able to even copy anything, let alone transmit. And it came in beautifully. So I wonder what Bob is going to tell us. What is the difference in the angle, and what are the functions that we're seeing here? Back to that.
Okay, I'm going to ask Anders if he got this picture and if he has any comments about it. Go ahead, Anders.
Good evening, everybody. I did receive a picture. However, I have some kind of technical glitch here that makes the picture really bad. I have a lot of echoes and weird things and green parts in it, so I have some tweaking to do in my end. It's certainly not the transmission. It sounded fine, and since you guys received it well, this is on my end. So I will keep tweaking. So back to net, N6H.
Okay, yeah, maybe it has to do with that the time you sent us a picture and it had all kinds of echo, like acoustic echoes in it. Sounds like something similar, but on the receive end. Well, Bob, why don't you give us an explanation, please, of this picture that you sent us over?
Well, I kind of gave a clue last time. This is probably, I don't know what you would say, 500 times as big as what I sent last time. This is a automatic mechanism to play a carillon. And carillons are a set of at least 23 bells that are chromatic, and they're usually played with a keyboard, and you hit the bars of the keyboard that are probably about the size of a broom handle, only about maybe a foot long, and you hit them with your fists and play the bells. And if you didn't have a carillonneur, you would install this mechanism in your church or castle tower, and it was, of course, powered by a very large pendulum, and it had an escapement mechanism, and then the gears would turn, and when it reached the preset time, it would play a tune. Now it's all done electronically, but that's a very large self-playing carillon mechanism.
Okay, now that's very impressive. So I guess I wasn't too far off when I mentioned Big Ben, but I think Big Ben has a very limited repertoire of what it plays. I know some of those bell towers have some very intricate things that they play, but excellent. Thank you for sharing that. So it's a different scale, but something along the same line, just a gigantic music box. Anybody else have any comments? Over.
HQR question: what's the diameter of the main drum there? They have the pins.
I really don't know, but I think it would be about 3 feet or 4 feet around. You have to have enough pins on it to play a tune, and sometimes the mechanism will jump over into the next set of tracks, so you can play different tunes at different hours. But of course, this is limited, where the more modern ones, you can pre-program them. And originally they had, like player piano rolls on them so that you could play different tunes. Anyway, this is fairly large. The gears on the gear set are, I don't know, maybe the little one is probably 4 inches in diameter, so that gives you an idea how big the wheel is.
Scale 7-inch. Yeah, a lot bigger than I thought. That kind of fits into your appreciation of automobiles and transmissions. So thanks for sharing, Bob. Scale 7-inch. You are back to net.
Yeah, this is KP4MD. Well, I remember hearing a bell tune in a truck that used to go around, which was the Mr. Softy ice cream trucks, and it sounded like something like this. But of course, I'm sure it was maybe a recording they had. But they used to play that long before they had any kind of electronic stuff. Must have been some kind of a tape recorder that they would play in those ice cream trucks when they drove around the neighborhoods. Very good. Thank you very much for sharing that. Let's take a standby. First of all, see if we have any other check-ins for the River City Arcs slow scan net. This is KP4MD. Any more check-in? Okay, nothing heard, and we don't have anybody on YouTube chat yet, so but I'll let you know when somebody does jump in there. Over to you, Neil, KL7HQR, and let's see what you have for us tonight. Over.
Carolyn, not KL7HQR. First of all, let me see if I have a tune, because a tone, because I'm not so sure I have this thing wired correctly. Standing by for tone test.
Yes, you do have a tone. Go right ahead, Neil.
Okay, thank you. This should be 120.
Okay, we're going to go straight over to you, Joel, AI6DG. How did you receive that, and what do you make of it? Over.
First off, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, you're loud and clear. Over.
Yay, I got it fixed. This wasn't working earlier. That was. I'm talking on the headset that was giving you the empty carrier earlier. Had to restart a piece of software. So we're looking at a picture. Looks like someone's maybe backyard. We've got a fence running across diagonal away from us from left to right. Maybe a metal shed building just off screen on the extreme lower left. A lot of trees and green vegetation in the background, and in the foreground, smack in the middle of the fence, are I'm hoping this isn't, but it kind of looks like it might be someone's backyard this afternoon in Florida after the hurricane blew a tower down, because I see a bunch of sections of tower kind of stacked up right in broken pieces, and a bunch of probably coax, maybe guy lines kind of arrayed around them. Maybe a pole at the base of the tower, or maybe this isn't the base of the tower, but where the parts fell. But someone's not having a good day, it looks like, from this photo. Excellent reception, hardly any pops and imperfections at all. Back to net, AI6. Oh, and there's also, so I see two sections, one almost upright, one at 45 to the left, and one on the ground to the right. I mean, the 45 to the left, not the right. Ground is to the right. Back to net, AI62.
Thank you very much, Joel. Let's go back up to the top of the list. Bob, N6PGQ, what's your take on this picture? Over.
Well, it looks like somebody's tower ended up the exact opposite of mine. Mine was an inverted V, and this one looks like a V. This may be, as was mentioned, some pictures from the hurricane in Florida. This looks to me like it might be a commercial tower, since the leg on the left is painted orange. Not very many pixel pops. Lots of mangled wire. So it may have been a cell phone tower, since the hard line looks fairly large. It doesn't look like amateur radio coax. Anyway, it'd be interesting to find out where this is. N6PGQ.
Okay, I'm going to ask if Anders, did you get a better copy on this picture maybe, and maybe you can give us some feedback?
I did get a much better reception this time. I would say, based on the quality of the picture, that this is a frame grab from a video, maybe, because it kind of has that blurriness to it, or maybe my audio reception is still weird, but it kind of looks like that on my side. And yeah, I agree with everybody before me that there is definitely a big oops going on here. I think bad words flew around when this happened. If somebody saw it, the hardline looks very large in relative to the tower itself, so not sure about the scale there. And then the framing of the picture is interesting, because down on the left, it looks almost like it's taken out of a window, maybe. But then that building was really close to the tower, so I don't know. Yeah, we'll know soon, I hope. NR6H, back to net.
Okay, thank you very much for that commentary on the picture, and want to announce that Craig, Whiskey Papa 2 November from Cajun land down there in Louisiana, has joined us on our live chat. Thank you. He says he's been here all along, just hadn't typed in, so we weren't aware he was watching. So I'm going to turn over to you, Neil, and maybe you can enlighten us as to what this disastrous picture is. Over.
Pleasure, Kill 7H2R. First of all, Louisiana, being on the air, watching us at this time of the morning or evening for you, thank you so much. We appreciate your dedication. Actually, you guys are too good. You guys are too good. Like Andrew said, this is a snapshot of a top frame. This is a picture I took from the TV screen today when I was watching the disaster in Florida. This is a commercial radio station. And I was trying to get the picture and write down where they were, and I missed it. So I'm going to have to go back and find out. But I had several pictures to choose from, and I chose this one as a little bit off frame because the other one showed more to the left and showed really the pretzel that the tower was in. But I wanted to catch this one so you could see that there were pieces of the tower laying flat on the ground. And I figured that I think Bob needs to teach his antenna to take different positions in the future, or maybe Bob and I should go down there and try to help those guys get things back up. But it's a horrible situation, and I think we can really appreciate what kind of destruction is happening over there. So anyway. So this is my secondary picture. I had another one to show from Sweden, but I didn't know Anders was going to be there, so I chose this one. So up to you, Anders. Next time, let us know when you're back. You're going to be back on the net. Back to net, KL7H2R.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other comments or feedback on this picture before we proceed?
TV station, radio station, Sirius Ham Club. What fell down?
To best of my understanding, it looks like it's not big enough to be an AM station. I would assume it would be an FM station, commercial.
Okay, thank you very much, Neil. You know, I just have one comment. These people who insist on living or having these structures in areas that are so frequently ravaged by hurricanes, doesn't it make more sense to build something that you know will withstand that rather than counting on it blowing down and rebuilding it each time? There must be a way to do that. I know it would be more expensive, perhaps, to use construction materials that will withstand 200-mile-an-hour winds, but I'm sure it could be done. But I don't know. Maybe they're counting on this cycle of destruction and rebuilding every few years when there's a hurricane. I guess it's a kind of a job security for people in the construction business. It just doesn't make too much sense to me. That's just my commentary, sorry. I mean, like, look at San Francisco. We have building codes now for earthquakes to prevent this stuff from happening, you know, and I guess Florida just can't do it to make their houses and structures resistant to hurricanes. Okay. We're going to go down the list. The next person to send a picture, by the way, this is the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV network, and that on Wednesday nights. So, Anders, do you think you're capable of sending us a picture? We'd be loving to see a picture from you. November Romeo 6 Hotel is KP4MD. Go ahead, please.
Well, thank you so much, and I'm going to kind of keep this in the same topic, I think, and I'm going to speed it up a little bit in case this is not working, and then you don't have to listen to silence or bad beeping too long. So let's see if this works at all. So I downsampled my picture a little bit to a Robot 72, and here we go.
Yeah, that picture actually came through pretty well. Let's go to, let's see, uh, who next? Uh, Bob, N6PGQ. Could you describe what you see here, please? Over.
Okay, well, it looks like perhaps on the left side is a repeater setup, amplifier on top with the fans on it, and controller and radio and all the paraphernalia that's in a white rack. And on the right side looks like a set of antennas at a multiple use site. I think it was really nice that we were able to get a skywriter to put NR6H and 230830 N6NA SSTV Net on there. Did a very nice job. A few pixel pops. Thing came through very, very quickly and very nice in 6PGQ.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go to KL7HQR. What are your comments? Over.
Not much else to add to Bob. I still want to know how Anders does that inserting the lettering in the context of the picture. But same thing as Bob indicated, but except that I can see maybe two artifacts on the blue area. Extremely good quality. Back to Matt.
Okay, thank you. Let's go to Joel, AI6DG. Your comments on this picture. Over.
Yep, repeater rack on the left, repeater tower on the right, nice blue sky. And I want to comment or compliment the skywriting also. Andrew always has creative ways of inserting that info into his photos. Would like to know some of his secrets. I'm guessing this is K6IS East, West, K6IS West, but I'm not sure. I know he was, no, Pilot Hill. No, yeah, he was just up at Pilot Hill. So is this K6IS Pilot Hill? Or equipment at Pilot Hill? We'll find out, won't we? Back to Net AI6DG.
Okay, yeah, it's KP4MD. I'm going to make a comment on this. And these pictures look extremely familiar to me. And I think they look so familiar to me because I'm the webmaster for N6NA. And these look amazingly like pictures of the N6NA 2-meter repeater on Pine Hill and the antenna up there. Yeah, I like the skywriting. That's a very nice touch there. Over to you, Anders, and R6H KP4MD.
Well, Carol, you got it. It is Pilot Hill, and the rack we're looking at is the N6NA 2-meter rack. So right in the middle there, actually exactly in the middle, there are two big black things. The top big black is the power supply, and underneath that is a thing with little red lights on it. That's the controller, and right underneath that is the repeater. And then underneath that, the silvery thing and the black part under that that's the link that goes to the voter site in Sacramento. But yes, this is the N6NA rack, and when I put these pictures together, I kind of recognized them too, and then I went to the website and realized that almost exactly these pictures are on the website. They're even taken from the same angle, but these are newer. They are from Monday. I got a little tour with Chris and 6ICW up there. He toured me around the site, and we looked at the various equipment there. And the reason for our visit was that we had an issue with the voter receiver on K6IS, so we were able to fixed that one, and then we walked around in the different vaults and looked at the other equipment that was there. So I figured this was a fun snapshot, but then, like I said, when I came home, I looked at the website and realized that it's almost exactly these pictures. The angle is slightly different on the tower, I think. You can see along the edges a little, and actually there are clouds on the picture on the website. This was a very clear day. You can see the sun glaring right there. Interesting detail on the tower is that the transmit antenna for N6NA is what you see on the far right. Those four dipole kind of like looking things that sit vertically there. That's the transmit antenna, and it's a large site. It's much larger than what we have up in Folsom. There's a lot more equipment up there. The K6IS stuff is actually in a completely different bunker than this. Yeah, much larger site and a lot of equipment. The room where this repeater sits is actually right now pretty empty. There are only a couple of other racks in there, so there's a lot of room around it. But yeah. Interesting visit, warm day, and always fun to learn stuff from Chris. He's a infinite source of information, and yeah, I try to keep up, but yeah, a little bit of it, what he says, sticks, but trying to learn really quickly here. So lots of fun, and yeah, compare this to what's on the website, and you'll see the similarity. It's almost silly. N6H, back to net.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I thought it looked extremely familiar. I must have looked those pictures on the website probably 100 times because I'm the one that shuffles them around when I edit the pages. Okay, any other comments about this before we proceed? Okay, I guess not. So again, for identification, this is Killer Pop 4 Mike Delta, and you're listening and watching the River City Arcs Slow Scan TV Net, Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Pacific time, here on YouTube, our YouTube channel, and also on the 441.30 FM repeater. I'm going to go ahead and send a picture, and this is going to be, by the way, I want to say, Anders, I'm glad you got rid of the distortion and the ghosting that you had the last time you tried to send a picture. This one was much better quality. This is going to be PD 120, this picture I'm sending, and I believe it's here it goes, and it's going to be going right now. Here we go. Okay, over to Bob. See how you copied it. N6PGQ. Go ahead, please.
Okay, well, there were a few pixel pops, none objectionable. And this looks like it must have been really a warm day because we've got a picture of 3 hummingbirds and a hummingbird feeder. Looks like the focus was really, really sharp on the feeder. Fast shutter speed, so the background is a little bit out of focus. And bird's wings on the very right bottom are fairly well stopped and frozen, and the one on the top were beating so fast that the shutter didn't catch the wings. Nice picture. Be interesting to know if this is at Carol's house or not. N6PGQ.
Oh, Bob, you've been over here. You know. Thanks for the description. Over to you, Neil. How did you get the picture, KL7HQR?
Well, extremely good copies. For some reason today, I'm getting extremely good copy of the repeater today, and the signal going in obviously is pretty good. Yeah, very, very sharp pictures. The one on the left, very quietly enjoying the food. The one on the right, figuring out how to approach, and the one on top, really working hard. Hummingbirds, we have 3, 4, 5 hummingbird feeders here in the house, and the wife keeps them fed, and we're very fond of watching them. And they are some of the most fierce fighters, incredibly vicious little machines, and very territorial. And they're so delicate when you look at them for their size. Very, very good picture. And I'm seeing again, just if I count 2 or 3 little pops on a picture. So somehow I'm being very favored with the image today. Good copy. I don't know if it is at your house or not, Carol. We're kind of curious to know. Back to net, KL7HQR.
Okay, yeah, I just want to explain. You're probably getting the pictures better than you have from the past because I bumped up the power on my transmitter from 5 watts this tonight, and last week I've been running 10 watts, so that I think has been helping a bit with the clarity of the pictures overcoming the noise. Okay, Anders, what do you say about this picture? NR6H is KP4MD, over.
I also got an excellent reception, clear picture, very bright colors, and yeah, good overall. Have some spread out pixel pops, but nothing to write home about. And yeah, I see that hummingbird feeder. I see a ducting going, or a what's it called? Rain drain. Yeah. Going behind it, and then I think we see the house and the roof on the far background here. Hummingbirds are fun. I have them. I have outside my office window at work. I have natural hummingbird feeders, or it's some kind of plant that blooms, and they love it. So those are full of hummingbirds. And then when the hummingbirds disappear, then the turkeys come walking, and they spend time outside my window. And I have right by the window, I have the subwoofer for my speakers, and when I play music there, I guess you can hear the really low frequency audio outside, and for some reason the turkeys really like that, so they kind of hang around there right at my feet outside the window. So it's fun. Birds are fun, but I think I prefer to keep them on a little bit of distance. But yeah, fun animals for sure. And yeah, thanks for the picture, and R6H back to net.
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, as a matter of fact, this is one of 4 pictures that I selected to share with you. And this picture is from Louisiana. This picture is from WP2N, Craig, down in Louisiana. He sent me an email with some pictures for our slow scan net, and this is one of them. I picked this one because it was nice and bright colors on it. And if you want an explanation, Craig could give you that explanation. He typed in the chat that this was late September 2022. And I imagine this is his QTH down there in the Cajun country of Louisiana. Ville Platte, I believe, is the name of the town that he's in. So there you go. And if you want to talk directly with him, you're going to have to ask him questions on YouTube chat. Let's see. Anybody else have any comments? Okay, nothing, but it is a very beautiful and colorful picture, and I have a few other pictures that Craig sent, and I'll just save them for another net. We've done the complete round of everybody who's checked in, and I'll give you an opportunity to, if somebody else, let's see, everybody sent a picture yet? Did you send one, Joel? Yeah, I think you did. Over.
Negative. I think I'm next.
Oh my gosh, why did I jump the gun like that? I'm confused. That's from not being net control for so long. Okay, Joel, then it's your turn. AI6DG, go ahead. We're ready for your picture. Oh. Yes, you have a good tone.
CD 120.
Very good picture. And I'm going to go back up to the top here, Bob, N6PGQ. Your comments on the picture, over.
Well, it's a nice nighttime or very late evening shot. Looks to me from the angle that someone is on a cable car approaching the Powell Street turntable. Really nice picture. Very few pixel pops. The major ones that I can see are in the very bottom black bar. I like the picture. It's going to be interesting to know when this was taken. N6PGQ.
Thank you, Bob. Next, KL7HQR. What do you think, Neil? Over.
not only when the picture was taken, but primarily when in the sense of time, because I don't think I've seen that place that empty of people. I know that there is a Powell. I think there is another turnaround somewhere in San Francisco. I don't know where it is. If it is in Deli Square, but very good copy on the picture, and very interesting. The lighting on the picture. The focus is a little bit soft, but I enjoy it. Back to that.
Thank you, Neil. Okay, Anders, how did you copy this picture, and what are your comments? Over.
I got a good copy. No issues technically. A few pixel pops spread out evenly over the picture, and they're obviously more visible in the black bars up top and at the bottom. But picture, I would agree, it's the Powell Market turntable for the cable cars. Yeah, unusual to see it this empty. I guess that's and that's also a place where I don't know at night if you want to walk around. But yeah, it's unusual to see the place this empty for sure. I think the other turntable is down by Fisherman's Wharf somewhere almost. But yeah, interesting to hear when this was taken, how new it is, and how empty the town is. I've heard bad stories about how San Francisco looks nowadays. Haven't been there in a little bit, but yeah, good to see the picture from there. And N6H, back to net.
Thank you, NR6H and SlowScanNet. This is KP4MD. Yeah, I recognize that's Market Street, and I recognize that's one of those turnarounds for the cable cars. And I just recently watched a YouTube video. It was a new video blog of one of these bloggers that was walking down Market Street and walked right by this area here too. And it was during the daytime though, and he was pointing out all of the storefronts. I think like probably 80 or 90% of the storefronts are all closed. They're out of business. They're boarded up, and it's really very pathetic to see that. There were a lot of people walking around, but they didn't look like tourists. They looked well, maybe there were just a few tourists around the cable car because that was a tourist attraction. But the stores were really, really sad. Businesses leaving San Francisco. So I'm thinking this might be at a like maybe 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning where there weren't that many people out on the street, or maybe during the time of the pandemic when there was a lot of pretty much a lot of the streets were clear. I don't know if we ever got this clear in San Francisco during the pandemic, but a very eerie type of picture. Over to you there, Joel. Tell us more about it.
Well, you're all commenting on kind of what the objective of the photo was, which was it being empty. I mean, it doesn't matter how busy of a town, how big of a touristy a spot is. I'm thinking primarily of Las Vegas, because my last trip to Las Vegas, my sleep schedule was very messed up, and there were a couple of mornings when I got up at 5 or 6 in the morning just as the sun was rising, and Las Vegas is usually just bustling and crazy, filled with people, but at that time in the morning, Las Vegas, the streets are empty. It's so peaceful. I mean, there's hardly any people around, hardly any traffic. They got this beautiful sun just coming up, and all of the Las Vegas attractions without many people. And that's true even in San Francisco along Market Street at a major tourist pull like the cable car turntables like this. This was again another trip, a different city, screwed up sleep cycle, and I was up at 4 or 5 in the morning looking for breakfast. The morning before this, I made it down about a block away to a Carl's Jr. I was actually looking for the Burger King that this morning I finally figured out was a block over, just up the road from the turntable. So I went to Burger King and got my first sandwich, egg sausage sandwich and walked back and just amazed by how quiet and empty the place was, and the amazing lighting, half night, half day, just as the sun's starting to come up, and this completely empty spot that's usually just filled elbow to elbow with tourists. And I took some pictures looking this way and down the tracks in the opposite direction, which I actually think I've sent one the photo on one of these close-hand nets, so the photo looking the opposite direction from this. Back to net, the N6NA.
Okay, yeah, so my question is, how recent is this picture? Over.
Geez, I don't know, 4 months, 5 months, or this year. When was RSA and B-Side San Francisco? I think that was in April.
Yeah, that's pretty sad. I was watching some information about the demographics, California, and there's been a lot of flight of people from San Francisco, particularly. I guess because the inflation, people not able to affording to live there, and just the cost of living is just so tremendously high. Sacramento, on the other hand, is having a net gain. So that's the kind of the interesting statistics of what's going on. Any other comments about that?
Okay, on 7HQR, just to add some of the negative, I just watched last night. I don't watch news. Just happened to catch that Nordstrom, after 36 years, closed their flagship store in downtown San Francisco, and the entire mall, they stopped paying the rent or the interest on a $500 million loan and turn it back to so it's really a bad situation in San Francisco. I certainly hope that it changes, because it's such a gorgeous place, and it's a pity to see what's happening. Anyway, enough negative. Back to net.
6PGQ.
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
Well, I assume they're still running, but everybody takes pictures of this cable car. The other one's the California line, and it's different than this one because the cable cars are double-ended. There's a grip mechanism at each end of the car, and that line does not have a turntable. So it gets to the end, goes to a Y, and is connected again and comes back down on the track that is just next to it. So they're different kind of cars, but exactly the same system. And the Cable Car Museum is great if you ever go to it in 6PGQ.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much for bringing us up to date on what the situation is in San Francisco with this picture, Joel, and thanks for all of the other comments that I don't know. There's got to be the way the economy is going is pretty sad, but there's got to be something we can do to turn things around. Hopefully, that's what we can hope. So, any other comments or anything before we close the net? We're coming up to the top of the hour.
Comment?
Yeah, go ahead, Con.
Yeah, not to dismiss any of the comments about the flight of businesses from San Francisco and all the various issues they're having down there, but I think the primary cause for this being empty is just plain and simply the time of day. Market Street's a business district except for the hotels and the convention area, and at 5 or 6 in the morning, there's no one there.
Yeah, that's a very good point. That's a very good point. That's another reason you don't see people there. But this YouTube video showed lots of people just kind of like milling around, walking up and down the streets. but they were not business people, and so many of the stores were out of business. So, it's a little bit of both. But thank you very much for sharing this, Joe.
Yeah, I did do some touristing and walked around a bit one day or a couple of days, and yeah, there's an extreme homeless problem in the area. I walked down toward City Hall in Union, not Union Square, down toward City Center, Civic Center, City Hall, and all that stuff. And there's sections out there that are completely taken over by the homeless, open, out in the open, injection of illicit substances, and I tried to kneel down by a tree at one point to figure out how to take figure out which bus to take, and they had community members out there to help the public, and I got shooed away from doing that because they don't let people, meaning homeless, intended towards the homeless, sit around in that particular area. It's really interesting. Well, in a bad way. Just how different it is from what you would expect a normal society to be. Back to net AI6DG.
Okay, well, hopefully there's going to be some way of turning that situation around. When I was in New York, growing up in New York back in the 70s, 60s and the 70s, Times Square was an extremely raunchy area. It's turned around and it's got a lot better now than it was back then, but the whole place was just absolutely filled with porn theaters, and it was definitely quite a repulsive place for not a place that most tourists would want to go, but they've really fixed it up quite a bit. So there's ways of changing the character of neighborhoods. Just have to have the right direction and some inspiration and resources to do that. Okay, I have nothing further, and it is now 10 o'clock. So one last call if there are any comments before we close the net.
I got more.
Okay, go right ahead.
Where this photo was taken in the general area around where this photo was taken is not depressed. This is high-end stores, some high-end hotels, the convention center is just a block away, nice malls. This is not depressed area. Now, that being said, you go a few blocks towards the Tenderloin and into the Tenderloin, and it's the complete opposite. You can go 2 blocks and go down 4 classes of, from 5-star hotels down to 1-star hotels. So it's a crazy mix and very highly stratified. How close and how different things can be from one place to the next. It seemed to me like there were places where you'd see both extremes at the same time, intermingling. I'm not a city person, so it's really, especially to me, intriguing just how different it is from living in suburbia. Anyway, enough. Back to you, AI6DG.
Yeah, very good. Very good point. I wasn't arguing that point about this neighborhood. It's very obvious that those storefronts you're looking at are pretty high end. The fact is that majority of those high end store fronts are now vacant, and just as Neil said, Nordstrom is closing there. So the flagship store. There's going to be no income. I mean, there's going to be no Nobody's going to be paying the, business and property taxes, for the infrastructure for the city. It's a pretty sad situation. But thank you very much again for bringing that up. Okay, at this point, we're going to go ahead and secure the net. Thank you everyone for sharing pictures and discussing and getting a little bit of education as well. That was very valuable. So tune again next Wednesday at 9 p.m. Pacific time on this repeater and also on our YouTube channel if you want to join us here on the River City Arc Slow Scan TV Net. 7-3 to all. This is Kilo Papa 4 Mike Delta.